Oh, hi, I didn't see you there, even though I set up the camera, and there's 10,000 of you looking at me right now. Also, I'm reading from my scientific journals this morning, you may have noticed. They're very informational, especially Mingling. So, I got another box of succulents, and I know you guys are getting tired of succulents, but I'm not, and that's too damn bad, and you don't have to watch the video. But I did get more, and they're from Mountain Crest Gardens this time. And I did cheat and already opened the box, so we're not going to go through me having a knife in my hand opening this video this time. But I did want to get it started with a couple of things because this is actually a really cool company. They have a lot of really neat selection. I saw a video on YouTube about this particular company, which is why it led me to buy from them. And to start with, they actually include some really great information in their boxing material, packaging material. So, for example, they have like just some instructions on getting started and care tips and how to deal with cuttings if that's what you bought, or if you take cuttings, winter and summer care. And I thought this was particularly cool. It's a flow chart of which succulents are actually helpful if you are in a particular area with freezing weather, or maybe you don't have a lot of sun in your house. So that's a really neat thing to provide. And I wanted to start off on a positive note because the other thing in the box that I'm really noticing that I'm not very pleased with is a lot of packing peanuts. These are not the kind that dissolve in water either. So I'm a little frustrated about that, I gotta say. Now they did pack everything very, very nicely with a lot of paper. Everything's wrapped really well. I'll pull one out and let you look. And then of course the typical shredded paper. So they do mix the packing material up, and I'm really pleased to see that they're at least using some of that. Who knows, maybe they had these leftover packing peanuts from something else. I'm not sure, but essentially you get these little ice cream cones with a mixture in it. And so once you pull all that out, all of it out, and there's a lot in each one, boo, you end up with your plant. So this company provides really, really healthy, very nicely grown plants. They are packed very tightly, really well, and they arrive in perfect condition. These are just beautiful. So, and they all come with their own little tags and everything. So this is I don't want to disparage the company with its packing material. Just a little thing to note. Perhaps they will eventually run out of those packing peanuts and stop doing that. But everything else is really great. And I did order quite a few of these. I kind of forgot how many. I think there's probably at least 20 or 30. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start unpacking all of these and cut the video and just return when I have them all unpacked, because I'm sure you guys will be fascinated to watch me unpack every single plant. But that video will go on for a really long time. So we're going to do a cutaway there, and then I'm going to include in this video a little bit of a tour of the dome in terms of some snippets of video of the stuff in bloom, because I haven't done that for a while, and the small dome where we're propagating a lot of our stuff for our plant sale, which I'm really excited about. It's something that we can do to raise a little bit of money for the space, and people get something that they can take with them, and it gives an activity for a lot of the people that are coming in and helping out to sit together. And there's a planting table, I'll include some of that in the video, and some seed trays and things like that. So it's pretty neat. And then if you have any interest in reading Morgan Morning at some point, perhaps we can have a little bedtime story and I can go through the book with you. I just found these are really neat. So on that note, I'll see you guys in a few minutes. All right, so I did all the unboxing. I got everything kind of laid out, and I wanted to, I'm trying to speak a little louder because the last time I noticed that the microphone didn't pick it up as much. And that's because the ambient, it's raining outside and the ambient sound is kind of a problem. But I moved my microphone a little bit out of the way just because there's so much going on here with all these plants. So, and the camera's a little further back. So for those of you that haven't watched the other videos, and when I say the pergola, it's this space. I'll cut away so Morgan doesn't have to flip me off. He's sitting over here, probably doesn't want to be in the video. Hi! See what I did there? I lied. So I could catch him in the video. I said I was going to cut away, and then I didn't. So I'm done unboxing, and there's a lot here. I forgot to count, so I'm just going to estimate around 20-25 plants. And I'm gonna hold these up so you guys can kind of see. A lot of them are Echeveria or Sempervivums, some Sedum. And I notice if I get too close to this camera, it's a little blurry. I have a lot of different digital equipment I use all the time, so sometimes some cameras are a little more focused. This one tends to be a little blurry if I get too close, but it also has a pretty high resolution. So, yeah, so they provided, these plants are really great. They're really healthy. There's a lot of variety here that I selected. I'm really, really pleased with just how healthy everything is, how unique everything is, and how you know, they really took care to ensure that these arrived in good condition. Maybe all those packing peanuts were exactly what was needed for that. I always wonder about these. Like, there is this, I have this, the gold nugget Sempervivum, and it drives me crazy because it looks like just every other hen and chick. It's green, and I don't know if this is a temperature thing in the fall, or if it is a sun exposure or seasonal, or what the deal is. So I'm really hoping that the one I have and that one changes back to the color, because consistently they just turn green and then they stay that way. All little babies on these, so neat. And we're going to, with a lot of these, there's a variety of things that will live that are temperature sensitive, and so we've got them going into the smaller biodome, which is more of a desert-ish, very direct sunlight, hotter, and it provides more of the succulent sedum space that we need for things that are not going to be able to survive our winters out here. We are a zone 7 here in Boise, Idaho. That's a little loose. I would say we probably should plan for high zone 6, because we do get temperatures down towards 0. And that was this year. We've had a very cold year, and it is still snowing and raining, and it is in April. That is highly unusual for here. Usually about this time of year, we're in the 50s or 60s, quickly escalating towards 70, 80 degrees, and you know, these fairly hot summers. So we're more Portland weather right now. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, so this is more like what I'm used to. It's just constant rain. Yeah, I'm trying to show you guys, like, pretty much, I'm not holding them all up because some of them are very similar, or even, I mean, they almost look identical. But they really, this place is great, guys. Like, if you're going to order some really cool, unique stuff, again, it's Mountain Crest. And I'll hold this little pamphlet up again. I love the picture, right? The woman with the succulents for hair. That's such a great logo. So yeah, great company. Highly recommend ordering from them. Everything I saw on previous videos from other people everyone's been really happy. I think these guys really care about their plants, and they certainly have a very nice variety of things. I did not find the pricing on these to be particularly unusual or high. I mean, plants in general have gone skyrocketing way up in terms of pricing. But that's, you know, That's the way things are. I think that a lot of that comes with the fact that it takes a lot of time, you know, and a lot of effort to really make all of this work, especially if you want something that's healthy, well rooted, and it's going to last for years and years. And so you're kind of paying for the quality, you're paying for people's time. Plus, they're doing really neat things like a care guide, YouTube channel videos. So I understand all of the effort, love, and labor that goes into making something like this, and therefore the pricing on it, even though it has skyrocketed quite a bit, is pretty appropriate. So keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to blend in some other stuff. Not really sure what that's going to be right yet, but it's probably going to be some of the biodome, definitely some of the planting that we're doing, so that you guys see kind of the activities. And hopefully, other than me sneaking a little snapshot of Morgan over here, I also want to get Vicky when she gets here, and some of the other people, so that you guys can kind of see the activity. All right, so enjoy the rest of the video, whatever that's going to be when I end up editing it. So it is soggy out here. There is water everywhere. You can see the pools forming. It's great. I mean, you know, we could always use lots of moisture. So where I'm going right now is I'm walking to the small dome. Here is a really janky door that I put on it. We got it for $5. And I just wanted to come in here and do a little bit of a walk around with the trays we're getting for our plant sale, a lot of the starts. We have quite a variety of, I think, kind of cool stuff that came in, and the goal is just to carry neat foliage and kind of cool flowers. So some of the stuff we got, and they're closed right now. Well, a few of them are kind of open, I guess. But like the Delosperma, which is an ice plant. I really love the flowers on, you know, the type that we got, because they're so vibrant. We got some really unique kinds, and so we're doing those, and then creeping phlox, things like that. On my last succulent video, there were a bunch of starts and over 200 succulents. Putting those in these walls here, you can see they're just kind of fabric pockets. And I thought, what a great display. And that's because the dragon fruit that we've got planted, it's just getting started growing. They will grow up these posts and then kind of drape over the sides. And we've got a little bit of a cactus-y kind of succulent garden started here. This dome's walls are way more transparent. We actually have some shade cloth to try and block some of the sun. It's super intense in here. And even on really cold days here, the dome will get 90 degrees. So it is great for cactus and succulents and things that like direct light. And we've got a number of little rattier starts that we've done over here, trying to get certain things just sort of figured out. This dome will not be the propagation dome permanently. Right now we're using it because it's extra space. We'll actually do more display in here, just like the large dome. And that way we can put up some propagation greenhouses at some point. Oh, we're getting starts already off some of our stuff. These are zinnias. The ones that are starting, at least. There's dozens of different types of plants in our seed trays, but it looks like the zinnias are already coming up, probably because it was so sunny yesterday. Today, super rainy. Yeah, so that's a little tour of the small dome and our little plant growing operation that we got going on for our spring sale to raise funds. And all of the funds we raise are just going back into the project. It's a community project. The larger project, the Gardens of Xanadu, as a proposal project, which is the HTTPS www.gardensofxanadu.com gives the architectural renderings of what we're proposing. We're really hoping that the county commissioners like that and we can make that work, because that project would mean a huge impact for the city, especially run the way it is. And there's a lot of monetary aspects to it that bring in a whole bunch of money. So so this is a little bit of a mock-up. It's not much of one, but it's what we got. I'm just showing you the last box of succulents that's left over. It was completely full. And then we've got just all these starts, little clippings from a huge variety of succulents. And there are over 150, so 150 assorted succulents in the starts. And that box was 64 potted ones. So, and again, we've put those in those walls. So between the succulents that I just unpacked and this tour of the dome and kind of what we're doing in here, you get a general idea of the space. I'm going to walk back outside really quick just so you can see like the sempervivums, which survive our winters here. The space outside the domes, it all needs to be gardened. So we have a huge amount of space to garden around everything. We've got some boxes that we've put out, and that's for food production. We've got some great fruit trees, a dozen really nice multi-graft fruit trees. And so those sempervivums are going to go in rock garden spaces kind of throughout the property. And along with the Delosperma, which is the ice plants, and other portulacas and stuff like that. So you can see we're putting some cinder blocks and trying to block some of the overspill. But what's really nice about that is we'll put some rocks on top and we'll border everything with the flowering and succulents, flowering plants and succulents. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And we're ending the video with a tour of the dome, the main dome. Flowers. This begonia, by the way, blooms very prolifically. It's wonderful. The living walls, it's interesting to see just how much has grown, and obviously there's orchids and stuff in bloom, but being able to still see the black fabric, I really hope it gets covered in mosses and things like that. I'd love for the walls to be almost entirely invisible when it comes to the fabric, but doesn't seem to bother anybody but me. One thing that's really cool is with the spring having just sort of started to fitfully come on here, the flowers in the dome seem to be picking that up as the light amount of light during the day increases, which is really cool. So things are blooming a lot more prolifically, and especially the orchids are starting to open up. This African violet, by the way, is one of my favorites. I love it's hard to see in that picture, but there's a green frill around those edges that I love. And the amaryllis. People keep mistaking these for lilies. I have no idea what that is, so if any of you know what that last plant was, please let me know. This is a stone crop, I know that one, but... And that red and yellow is a type of milkweed. It's a beautiful tropical milkweed. I grow it outside as well for the monarchs if they can find it, but we have an indigenous species that we grow here too. It's called a showy milkweed. So, but I like the tropical one as well. And a little bit of a repeat there on the video. I wanted to get a longer kind of walk exposure around that begonia. I love the coleus. The foliage on the coleus is really, really pretty, but it is very difficult to keep that contained once it goes to seed, so we've had to cut the flowers off pretty often. We are going to be and are constantly thinning out that water lettuce. It covers the whole pond very quickly. That euphorbia, or African milk cactus, is pretty popular. A lot of people really like that. So I got this picture of that orchid, and then a few days later I got a different picture of more of it. Oh my gosh, this corpse flower was so stinky. Holy cow. That's actually small for this corpse flower, which is a Amorphophallus cognac. But it's its first year and it was from a small bulb, so the flowers will get way more larger. But it stunk so bad, which was really funny. And these are just stuff I picked up because I can't control myself, including gimmicky grafted cactus. I forget this orchid, but I love it. It's huge. The one we have, it was donated by a wonderful, this woman and her daughter, and it's just giant. So see, this is the red one. So one had opened and then I didn't realize there was a whole cluster, and it is just, oh my gosh, I love that contrast. This Delosperma is actually doing a lot better. In the winter it was a little too soggy and a little too cool, and it got scraggly, but it looks a lot better. And our passion flowers. Consistent bloomers all. We have a total of, 6 different kinds of passiflora. Only, I think 4 of which are in bloom. And our little nepenthes that are starting to get bigger. They were very, very tiny when I got them, but they're certainly happy in the dome. One was unfortunately hanging right below the heating system, so it dried out fairly consistently and got cranky. But it's coming back pretty well. We moved it and it's getting lots of water now. And the bromeliads, several of them are in bloom, which is really cool. And you can see that one's double spiking up there, triple spiking it looks like. And this Brugmansia, which we're headed towards here, has since opened, and it is a huge flower and is red. I was wondering what color it would turn when it opened, and I was very delighted to see it was a red color. Kind of a salmony red, not a really dark one, but still very pretty. And that flower is huge. And that's pretty much it. That concludes the whole video, so see you guys next time.